now that the weather's getting warmer, it's time to start talking about limoncello. A limoncello is a really fantastic thing that comes from southern Italy. Really traditional. If you've ever traveled to the Amalfi Coast, you've probably had your share of limoncello. So limoncello is an interesting spirit because the way that they make this is by working with lemon peels, and not just the peel, but actually just the yellow part of the peel. If you use any of the white part of the peel, that pith will actually add bitterness to the limoncello. So it's very labor intensive, and then you extract that with concentrated alcohol and sugar, and you end up with this really incredible, very sweet, very potent little lemon drink. Now the thing about limoncello is because it is higher in alcohol content, it's pretty strong stuff. I recommend serving it really ice cold. In fact, at home, I keep my limoncello in the freezer. That way when you're serving it, it's like the alcoholic content is sort of suppressed a little bit, and you get a little bit more of that really great intense lemon flavor. So good. But like I said, that strong flavor is sometimes a bit much for some people. So a great alternative is to mix it into different kinds of cocktails. Really simple way to enjoy limoncello is with Prosecco. So great little Italian combination. So take about an ounce of limoncello and top it off with a little bubbly, really simple, really fresh. You can serve it with ice as well. It's a good poolside combination. So here we'll finish it off with our Prosecco. And we'll garnish that with a little lemon wheel. So beautiful, perfect, really refreshing, really lemony. So I'm now going to show you a couple other ways you can play around with limoncello this summer. One of them is in a sangria. Now sangria is a great one because the rules with sangria is that there aren't really any rules. So I'm going to do a little limoncello sangria using our Cooper's Hawk white sangria. You can also do this with just regular white wine if you want to go with something a little bit less intense in flavor. It all works. Like I said, there's no rules to sangria. What I do like about our bottled sangria is that it does have the addition of fruit juices to it, which make it incredibly aromatic. So I'm going to put a whole bottle of that in there. And then to this, I'm going to add a couple of things. First, I'm going to add some lemon juice. Now, yeah, there is lemon juice that comes this way. I don't recommend using this stuff because it tends to not taste as fresh as just great, fresh, juicy lemons. So we're going to take a lemon, and even though limoncello has a lot of flavor, lemon juice has a great texture to it. So we'll get a little bit of that pulp in there. Then we're going to ramp up the lemon character by adding some limoncello. Now in this case, I'm not going to add a whole lot, just about 1/4 of a cup. Of course, if you like your sangria a little stronger, you can go with a little bit more. So we'll add 1/4 cup of that. And then I want to sweeten it a little bit because with all of that intense lemony flavor, we might need a little bit of sugar. And to sweeten it, I'm going to be using a little bit of blue agave nectar. This is, agave is the same thing that they use to make tequila with, and it's actually quite sugary before it goes through its fermentation. Just about 1/4 of a cup. And we can always adjust that to taste as well. So now that I've got all of those things added, I want to add a lot of lemons because this is what's going to make this really beautiful. And then we'll finish it off with some ice. And the longer you let this sit, the more concentrated those flavors are going to get. So you could let this now sit maybe without the ice. Let it sit in your refrigerator for a couple of hours or a couple of days. And then right before serving, add that ice. And then we'll finish it off with a little bit of sparkling water or club soda just to keep it that much more refreshing. And there we are, little limoncello sangria ready to go. Then when it comes time to serving it, make sure you incorporate those lemon slices again. There we go. That is a picture of summer right there. So delicious, so fresh, so clean, and so lemony. Now, the next way we're going to go with this is another variation on the limoncello, and this is a limoncello smash. So going for something that's a little bit higher in alcohol, and really playing around with more flavors. And like I said, just with sangria, there really are no rules to what you're doing. You can play around with lots of other fruits with these cocktails as well. So I'm going to incorporate first fresh strawberries. And this is a strawberry basil limoncello smash. So to that, I'm gonna add a couple of these little lemon wheels, and I'm just gonna muddle those. And by muddling those, I'll be breaking up those strawberries a little bit, making a little bit more of a juice and a pulp and incorporating the flavors. And I'm gonna add my basil afterwards. And you know, I think people are pretty used to muddling things like mint and other herbs. Basil's a tricky one. Basil has a lot of very strong flavors to it. If you muddle basil too hard, it ends up tasting almost like licorice. It gets very, very strong, intense flavors. So I'm actually just gonna slightly rip it up in here. I'm not even gonna muddle it. So we've got little bits of basil in there. And then now, our secret weapon. So I'm gonna make this a little bit stronger, and I'm gonna go with 2 ounces of the limoncello. And I'll be adding some ice to that. And finishing it off with some sparkling rosé. So this drink is a little bit stronger and not quite as sweet, but so beautiful and really delicious. Now the other thing, like I was saying about basil, is it's got a lot of very intense flavors, and so when it comes time to garnish, I'm gonna garnish this with some basil as well. But rather than just sticking the basil in there, I'm gonna slap it a little bit. If you slap your herbs, it releases those oils, keeps them really fresh and aromatic. I'm gonna add a little bit more ice to it as well. And there we go. Strawberry basil limoncello smash. Wow, I'm gonna have to drink a few of those. Cheers.